Okay, so hello and welcome all MBA aspirants to MBA Wallah by Physics Wallah. This is Amit Rohra, your VRC expert, and today मेरे साथ है बहुत ही ज्यादा स्पेशल गेस्ट. आई थिंक टुडे इज गोइंग टू बी वन ऑफ दोस रेयर इंस्टेंसेस जब अमित सर कम बोलेंगे और सुनेंगे ज्यादा, एंड हम सब भी सुनेंगे ज्यादा. सो वेलकम, वेरी वार्म वेलकम ध्रुव. वी आर सो हैप्पी एंड सो प्राउड टू हैव यू हियर ऑन एमबीए वाला. हाउ आर यू फीलिंग ध्रुव?
I am feeling absolutely amazing today. I was not having a great day, but interacting with you, you are such a fun guy. It's absolutely amazing.
चलो ठीक है, तो अभी ध्रुव का डे तो बनाना ही है, बिकॉज ध्रुव हमारी लाइफ बनाने वाले हैं, बिकॉज ही इज हियर टू इम्पार्ट सम वेरी वैल्यूएबल एंड वेरी यूजफुल इंफॉर्मेशन. चलिए पहले जल्दी जल्दी इंट्रोडक्शंस दे देते हैं. सो यू नो मी, आई एम अमित रोहरा सर, एवरीथिंग टू डू विद योर VARC राइट हियर ऑन MBA वाला, एंड यू कम टू मी एंड आई डील विद ऑल ऑफ योर प्रॉब्लम्स रिलेटेड टू वर्बल एबिलिटी एंड रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन फॉर कैट एंड OMETs. अभी ध्रुव, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ, टेल अस अबाउट योरसेल्फ, व्हाट यू आर, व्हाट यू आर डूइंग करंटली.
Yeah, so my name is Dhruv Nainwal. A lot of people who are active on Quora know me there, right? Apart from that, I am a physics graduate from Ramjas College, University of Delhi, and currently I am studying at IIM Udaipur. I had a CAT percentile of 98.13 and a 98 percentile in DILR, and I was fortunate enough that I got to meet Mr. Amit Rohra Sir. So he was great, right? He helped me clear certain concepts in VARC. So he helped me a lot in clearing the 99 percentile mark.
So Dhruv, so this is absolutely awesome, and we also understand that finally, after everything that you've achieved, you've managed to land that coveted seat in the erstwhile IIM brand, right? And
Yeah.
how is the feeling? How are you? How is the journey going so far?
The journey is going pretty amazing. I mean, it is full of highs and lows. There are days wherein you have to do a lot of tasks. There are a lot of deadlines. But at the same point of time, there are days wherein you party a lot. For example, yesterday I had my assignments till 12 in the midnight. But after 12, I had a friend's birthday. So we danced a lot, we partied a lot. So you have a lot of rigorous academic situation here at IIM Ahmedabad. I am Udaipur, but at the same point of time, there is a lot of fun. You know, you have a lot of friends. So it's pretty amazing. I would say one must try living a life at an IIM.
Yeah, but super, super. Chaliye, so now that we have established and we have kind of got a background on you, Dhruv, it is time for us to go down the memory lane. ठीक है, क्योंकि अभी आप जो बात कर रहे हो, जो आपका वीडियो हम जो देखने वाले हैं सारे बच्चे, all of them are gearing, preparing, पढ़ने के लिए CAT and other OMETs. तो why don't you take us through कि आपने कब अपनी पढ़ाई शुरू करी? How has your journey been, and how did you finally manage to ace the?
Right. So I started my preparation in late July, but this is not something I would recommend you. I would recommend you that you should start as early as possible. But there are people जो कहते हैं कि जुलाई में प्रिपेयर करना स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, क्या हमारा होगा नहीं होगा. I would say जुलाई में अगर आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, so there is no issue with that. You can still score your targeted percentile of 99 or say whatever your number is. So as far as my preparation was considered, I prepared in two parts. So I divided every section. You have three sections: VARC, LRDI, and Quants. So I divided each section into two parts. So there was level 1 and level 2. In level 1, I did all the basics. For VARC, you just have to read. The more you read, the better it is. It does not matter whether you read fiction, non-fiction, whether you read about science or you read about literature. You just have to make sure your mind and your sort of you have a good communication between your eyesight and your brain, because the more you can see in a particular time, the easier it is for your mind to grasp whatever the content is written on your screen or in your book, which is very helpful in VARC. Apart from that, when you are quite familiar with reading at a quick speed and assimilating everything that is written onto the article or on your specific screen, what you have to do is that you have to understand what type of questions are being asked by the CAT authorities. So you should delve into some past year papers, or what you can do is Physics Wallah, the MBA Wallah initiative, this whole the course they would be providing you, they would have certain mock papers. So they are very, very helpful, because eventually they are made by people who had been in the test taking industry for years now. So just go through those mock exams and you will realize what kind of questions you are expected to do. And at the same point of time, you would be provided with solutions. So analyze those solutions well. You will have certain sessions with Amit Rohra Sir. So I hope he would be absolutely amazing while he tells you the logic behind certain solution. So VRC, he will make sure that your VRC section is pretty covered. Next, coming on to LRDI. LRDI is something which is very unconventional. So LRDI makes CAT probably a make or break section. But the good news is that in LRDI, you just have to solve about 2 sets out of the given 5 sets to score a 98 or a 99 percentile. So if you are able to make sure that you do not lose your focus on the exam and you are able to pick the correct 2 sets, it's a cakewalk to score a 99 percentile. Because for last year, I scored just 69 percentile in DILR. And this time I scored 99 percentile. So you don't have to, so I never tweak my strategy a lot. I just made sure I become good when it comes to selecting the right sets. And the best way to go forward with DILR is to do 2 things. First, do all the questions and mock tests that are provided to you by this MBA Wallah, the whole I would say lectures plus mock test series. Apart from that, you can also delve into the previous year papers, sets ranging from 2016 to 2022. And next comes the most dreadful sections, especially for non-engineers, which is quants. So quants is not about understanding how much calculus you know or how much you have studied in your engineering. You just have to make sure that you get your logic correct and you don't have any preconceived biases against maths. Because I have realized that I've seen there was a non-engineer friend of mine. She was doing BCom honors. She was not very great at maths. She was not great when it came to calculus and finding slope of a line. But eventually, she was able to score a 98.99 in QoS section, so which is pretty commendable. So just be, I would say, just be clear with the basics. And eventually, CAT authorities they also know that we have a lot of engineers in the house. So they try to set the paper in such a way that even the non-engineers can score it. So as long as you are being logical and you know your basics right, you are done with quants. And that's this sole reason why a lot of times students are maximizing their scores in quants. So if you want to maximize your scores, quant may be the section for you. So this is how I went about it. And I scored the highest in DILR, followed by quants and followed by verbal.
Super. So, Dhruv, I think that is very insightful and thank you so much. But I want to paraphrase again. I'm sorry, Dhruv, my job is and my bad habit or good habit is whatever that I read or hear, I need to remove the keywords, right? So all that Dhruv said, may say important keywords for this, that Dhruv is consistent. Let's not have any mental blocks here. कि I'm an engineer, तो मेरा quant easy हो जाएगा और VRC difficult. I'm a non-engineer, तो मेरा quant बहुत difficult हो जाएगा. Something like that. I am super impressed by this, that Dhruv actually said his best section turned out to be LRDI. Dhruv, I cannot tell you LRDI को लेके generally any CAT aspirant, and obviously me being a non-LRDI person also feel that it is difficult. And yes, it is, because traditionally our CATs papers have always shown that LRDI या तो lengthy होता है, complicated होता है, but very important thing that Dhruv said is selecting the right set. And so okay, ये खाली बोलना नहीं है, करके भी दिखाना है सर कैसे select करें. तो ध्रुव ने ये भी बोला कि with consistent practice, you will be able to understand what your strengths and your weaknesses are, and you'll be able to identify what type to get into, what type not to get into. Super. So Dhruv, take forward this discussion only. And my God, that last example of quant you gave was so inspiring. So chalo people, if Dhruv ki friend who's a commerce grad could score 98.99 in quant, did you say?
Yes.
Wow. If she could, then we all can, and we will 100%. So Dhruv, taking the discussion forward, what were your, typical study plan? Yeah, after July end mein shuru kiya. So can you just take us through in terms of, I don't know, whatever you're comfortable with, a daily plan or a weekly or a monthly plan, right up to November, आपने कैसे इसको manage किया?
Right. So it was not feasible for me to keep a daily plan because I had a lot of other, already booked appointments because I was doing certain things. So I tried to keep a weekly plan. So I would suggest you to keep a weekly plan because it's quite difficult to adhere by a daily plan because eventually we are all humans and नहीं हो पाता कभी कभार. So एक weekly plan रखो. उसमें you should take at least one mock a week starting में. Eventually September October में you have to make sure कि आप हफ्ते में at least 2 mocks दो. And it's not just कि mock दे दिया आपने. Rather than giving mocks, it is more important to analyze mocks and understand कि where did you miss certain things. क्योंकि बहुत बार there is a calculation error or there is an error in judging the question. And again, you are subscribing to MBA Wallah, so they would be providing you a dashboard जिसमें analysis में which will help you a lot. So do focus on that. जहाँ तक planning की बात है, so VRC में you have to study every day. I read every day. I read The Hindu and Mint newspaper. Apart from that, to make sure that I read from diverse sources, I subscribe to Aeon Essays. It's free of cost. So that really helps a lot. Adding to that, you will again be provided with certain reading materials on your dashboard as well. So that would help a lot. LRDI की बात करूं तो LRDI में it's again about selecting sets and solving them. So what I did was I went to previous year papers or I went to my mocks. So sectional mocks होते हैं. So you start the timer, you read all the 4 or 5 sets. You will initially take 10 minutes to decide कौन सा set करना है, कौन सा छोड़ना है. Again, select 2 or 3 sets, start solving them. एक बार time खत्म हो जाए, उसके बाद take your solution, compare it to the solution provided by whatever material you have. So आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आपको कोई particular solution, particular set choose करना था, नहीं करना था. तो अगर choose करना था तो क्या logic था और उसे किस तरीके से बहुत you could solve it in very very less time. So that's how I went for LRDI. Quants की बात करें तो quants require a lot of practice. So it does not matter whether you are an engineer or a non-engineer. मेरा एक friend है engineer, he was very confident about scoring good in quants क्योंकि उसके JEE में अच्छे marks थे. But eventually, I guess he never studied, right? He was not consistent. So he was not able to score very good in quants, although he was expected to score great in quants. So consistency is the key because eventually, एक time बाद your talent does not help you score higher. It's the consistency that you come up with. और eventually quants में the advantage is that आपने अगर 1000 क्वेश्चन किए हैं तो चांसेस है कि उन 1000 में से ही आपके 15 या 20 क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. तो आप जितने ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस करेंगे the probability of you striking that question in the CAT exam increases. So do a lot of questions. What you can do is that you can either fix a 1 hour slot. 1 hour slot में या तो आप क्वेश्चंस करो या फिर what you can do is आप क्वेश्चंस के स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो. फिर फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर ट्रैवलिंग इन अ मेट्रो, तो खाली बैठ के कुछ करने को होता नहीं है, तो फोन में क्वेश्चन खोल लो, उसकी पिक्चर देख लो. So either you can steal time in your day-to-day activities or you can block a 1 or 2 hour in your day schedule. So that's how I went for these study plans.
Super. I think that is also very practical, and I'm very happy that Dhruv is actually sharing with us a plan that I think is more universal in nature, and that can be, I think, अभी तो मतलब कि अभी my dear aspirants, excuses को छोड़ो. ये बोलना, ये सोचना, let's stop doing that, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा, I don't know, will I be able to do it? I think Dhruv has given us some good plan. जहाँ पे Dhruv ने बोला, I started very late, sir, but I still did it. So see, this is also interesting what Dhruv realized. Okay. Now again, Dhruv, if I can be very candid here, is your weakest section VARs? Was it VARs?
It was
weaker comparative.
If I look at these scores that I received, so VRC was my weakest section as per scores.
Let me tell you where am I concluding this from. ठीक है, वापस थोड़ा reasoning and verbal ability here. Dhruv ने every day VRC की पढ़ाई करते हैं. While he said that daily study plan तो possible मुश्किल हो पाता है because obviously everybody is busy, कोई working है, college है, exams है, submissions है, right up till CAT. But Dhruv realized that his weakest was VARC, and that is why simple things, reading every day, decoding newspapers and kind of Aeon essays every day. So this I'm sure must have helped him a lot and kind of and I really loved how practically he approached it in the sense of CAT related. ठीक है. So the point is not doing something कि मैंने ये कर लिया यही आएगा. What Dhruv also said is similar questions. So I'm very proud of the fact that, again, aspirants like Dhruv who've made it actually are echoing the same thing again, कि you have to condition your mind. And, with conditioning of the mind, this thing, I feel like it's out. Dhruv, I need to go deeper into the same thing. What books? आपने कौन सी books से पढ़ाई करी? What books should aspirants refer to? Which are good books for CAT?
Actually, I never subscribed to a single book, as in I use the internet I use the notes available in the internet. But if I
were to reference material, any websites or something also?
Okay, so website mein there's no particular website. I cannot think of a particular website, but I can tell you about what my friends went through. So some of my friends went for this famous book called Arun Sharma. Baki, or some went back to their NCRTs. So I believe apart from that, most of the people stuck to whatever material their coaching centers were providing them. So I guess people who are providing coaching, they have mentors like you who have been teaching in this space for years and years. So they are knowledgeable enough. They know better than the books. So I believe it's better to be in touch with your teachers who are teaching you in your coaching institute, or even if they are providing you online courses. So उनसे ज़्यादा मुझे नहीं लगता किसी को आता है. And at the same point of time, books में issues ये हैं कि books might be outdated, but the people, your faculty is never outdated, right? He is up to date with everything is going on, including Amit. So stick to your coaching centers या आपके जो भी faculty है.
Super. So, of course, the evergreen books like, Nishit Sinha, Arun Sharma, just typical Bibles माने जाते हैं, but this is also very interesting. They could also be outdated. Yeah, they could be out of touch with it, because let's face it, the books may have been updated a year or 2 years in advance. But CAT 2022 का भी format 2020 में format change हुआ है. So, but that making sense, let us be standardized in the sense of stick to a few sources, but be loyal to those sources. And then, of course, as Dhruv rightly said, you trust your teachers. Our teachers को trust नहीं करोगे, किसको trust करोगे?
Exactly.
Yes. But this is also very interesting, Dhruv, जहाँ पे आपने ये बोला है कि you managed to study a lot from the internet. Of course, that being said, theory तो is theory, which is kind of common across, but that is all about solving and practical application and everything. चलिए, Dhruv, again, more than kind of this thing and everything that you have kind of said. Now, if we have to look at giving section-wise kind of, some preparation strategy, what should an aspirant do, according to you? Again, a very kind of generic, experiential knowledge. If a person is weak in VARC, what should he focus on? Weak in NRD or weak in what? What do you think?
Okay, so if you are weak in VARC, okay, so first of all, do not confuse VARC with vocabulary. A lot of people come to me and say कि हमारी vocabulary अच्छी नहीं है, will be able to score good in VARC. I would say there's no direct relation between your vocabulary and your VARC. So as long as you are able to cover your basic vocabulary, it's fine. कोई vocabulary से direct questions नहीं आते हैं. What you can do is that there's a book called Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. So अभी तो you have ample amount of time. So go through that book. It would be absolutely it would be complete for your VARC preparation. Now coming on to the actual VARC thing, read a lot. जहाँ से मिल रहा है पढ़ो. It can be a newspaper, it can be any article over the internet, it can be an editorials, या फिर again A on essays हो गए. There's a website called JSTOR Daily, JSTOR. So you will get articles ranging from history to biology to your geography to politics. So जितना diverse sources से पढ़ सकते हो, that's better. And again, जो आपको material आपके respective faculties provide करेंगे, that would be more than enough. मतलब don't try to spread your arms and legs into each and every space. Be concise. कुछ specific चीजों में focus करो, and you would be good to go. Also, VARC में generally people focus a lot on RCs. They end up scoring pretty less in VA. So try to make sure कि VA के आप questions practice करो, because VA is quite scoring only if you have studied it. अगर आपने पढ़ा ही नहीं है VA, you are just banking on RCs, eventually VA में आपका score बहुत कम आएगा. And advantage with VA is that आपको पता है VA में generally क्या fixed questions है, क्या pattern है. So you can prepare more for VA in that sense. But RC में you never know, क्या पता RC बहुत tough आ जाए, या it comes from a section जिसमें आप comfortable ना हो. So it's better if you prepare yourself for VA over RC. Apart from that, if I talk about LRDI, again, solving more number of sets will help you score good in your actual CAT. Apart from that, don't be disheartened if you are not able to solve even a single set in your mocks. Because there were times wherein I scored pretty low, I would say 60s and 70s in my DLR mocks. But I made sure I went again to the analysis and देखूं कि क्या गलत हुआ क्या सही हुआ, and I did that, and eventually in my CAT exam I scored 99 plus percentile in DLR, which was pretty good for me. So जितने ज्यादा सोर्सेज से हो सकता DLR में, I would say जितने ज्यादा सोर्सेज से हो सकता है, go through your DLR sets. And again, your faculties would be providing you certain DLR sets, तो वहां से कर लेना, because they are more up to date regarding क्या आ सकता है आगे. So, and talking about quants may be similar to DLR practice, but advantage with quant is that DLR की तरह you don't have to carry a complete set with you if you want to practice. तो आप फोन में भी आपके अगर कोई PDF है तो keep that PDF in your phone handy. अगर कहीं आप इधर से A पॉइंट से B पॉइंट में जा रहे हो या 5 मिनट या 10 मिनट का ब्रेक है अपनी क्लास के बीच में, so you can just scroll through that PDF और 2 या 3 सवाल आप नहीं कर सकते हो. So that 2 or 3 questions makes a big difference. So मतलब 2 questions means 6 marks, and 6 marks will make a huge difference in your percentile. So focus on that, and yeah, practice as much as possible. And apart from that, Amit sir will be helping you out.
So, any time management tips that help you or you specifically practice during CAT while preparing for CAT?
Okay, so generally don't focus a lot about the results. Eventually, because results will come from your preparation, right? And the actual confidence does not come from shouting affirmations in the mirror. The real confidence comes from having a stack of undeniable proofs. So अगर आप पढ़ोगे, आपको पता है कि you have covered this things. So आपको पता है कि आपने अगर cover किया है, तो obviously it would be inside your brain, right? And eventually जब चाहिए होगा तो your brain will help you out to make sure कि एग्जाम में वो concepts आपको याद आ जाएं. तो अगर आपने practice किया है तो हो सकता है 1 या 2 दिन में आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस ना बने, पर इवेंचुअली कैट के दिन में आई एम प्रीटी श्योर कि यू विल बी एबल टू क्लियर those obstacles in the terms of questions. So अगर आपने प्रैक्टिस किया है तो कोई इशू नहीं है, डरने की बात नहीं है. There would be times when you would feel low, but मतलब this is a part of life. So बहुत ज़्यादा don't pay a lot of heed to your low mock scores उसमें, क्योंकि people tend to waste a lot of time. So एक ये करना. इसके अलावा मेक श्योर कि आप वीकली एक टाइम टेबल बनाओ. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मैं 4 बजे से 5 बजे तक ये वाला टॉपिक करूंगा, बट मेक श्योर कि यू मेंशन कि in this week I will complete this number of mocks, or I will complete these concepts in my quants. For example, I will complete algebra or linear equations. Again, VRC में I will complete these articles or these many DLR sets. So हाँ, मतलब you have to take responsibility of your time. That's of utmost importance as of now. And apart from that, I mean, you have basic common sense यार, कर लोगे आप लोग को, इतना लोड लेने की जरूरत नहीं है.
Super. I think Dhruv, finally, I would just like to kind of understand from you, कि other than CAT, आपने कौन से exams? Did you target any other exams? Should our aspirants target some other exams? What would be your advice?
Definitely. I just targeted 2 exams, but I would recommend you कि जितने आपसे हो सकते हैं उतने एग्जाम दीजिए, क्योंकि the issue with CAT exam is that साल में बस एक बार होता है. And eventually you never know कि एग्जाम के दिन क्या हो जाए. For example, if I talk about me, I was doing great. I was expecting 98.6, 98.7 आ जाए, but eventually एग्जाम से 2 हफ्ते पहले I met an accident. So मेरा राइट हैंड फ्रैक्चर हो गया, तो मैं क्वांट में कुछ लिख नहीं पाया. So there are times wherein you can't help. So you cannot rely on a single exam कि मैं इस एग्जाम में अच्छा स्कोर कर लूंगा. क्या पता है एग्जाम के दिन आपकी तबीयत खराब हो जाए या आपका कंप्यूटर काम करना बंद कर दे. So don't keep all your eggs in one basket. So prepare for CAT. उसके अलावा IFT एग्जाम आप दे सकते हो, जेट का एग्जाम दे सकते हो, बहुत अच्छे कॉलेजेस हैं IFT और जेट, XLRI. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, पीपल डू गिव आपका स्नैप देते हैं लोग, एनमेट देते हैं, माइका का अलग एग्जाम होता है, और टिस का बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम होता है. तो मतलब कीप एन आई ऑन ओवर ऑल द एग्जाम्स दैट आर बीइंग फ्लोटेड. अभी तो शायद स्टार्ट नहीं हुए रजिस्ट्रेशन, पर होंगे, तो मेक श्योर कि आप ईच एंड एवरी मतलब एटलीस्ट 3 या 4 एग्जाम करो. मैंने कैट दिया था 98.13 और IFT दिया था 99.2. तो मैं चाहता था कि आज रिग्रेट होता है कि मैंने जेड क्यों नहीं दिया. सो आप लोग मेक श्योर कि यू give all the exams that are accessible to you. So eventually अगर हो सकता है CAT में ना हो तो ZAT में हो जाए, ZAT में ना हो तो IFT में हो जाए. क्योंकि again giving an example, I have a friend, I cannot name her, but उसकी CAT में around 86% आया था. She got nothing. But again ZAT में 99.7% आया. She is studying at XLRI. So XLRI, she got the offers for XLRI BM as well as XLRI HRM. So she went for XLRI HRM. So मतलब 85% I say XLRI. So that's a good thing.
Superb, superb. I think that is kind of very, very inspirational to know. And thank you so much. Finally, in conclusion, Dhruv, this has been a very enriching discussion. And yeah, this is what is needed, I think, because, you know, हम तो teachers हैं, faculties हैं, experienced हैं, हमारा time कुछ और था. But आप अभी young, fresh, young बोलना मेरे को थोड़ा वो लग रहा है क्योंकि मैं old नहीं हूँ, but still fresh. Because, you know, you've just been out of the grind and, you know, just really makes a big difference. And impact. Any last do's and don'ts before we finally conclude this for all those CAT aspirants this year?
Okay, so one personal advice I would like to give you is that कि don't have a preconceived notion कि एग्जाम पे जाने से पहले कि ये मेरा बेस्ट सेक्शन है, मैं इसमें बहुत अच्छा स्कोर करूंगा, या मेरा ये वीकेस्ट सेक्शन है, इसमें बहुत कम स्कोर करूंगा. क्योंकि if I give you a personal example, before going in for my CAT exam, I was pretty confident कि VARC might be my strongest section क्योंकि I was scoring good in that. But eventually on the exam day, my slot 1 VARC was extremely difficult, मतलब बहुत difficult था. So eventually I ended up scoring just 95 percentile, wherein I was expecting a 90 plus percentile. On the other hand, DILR was something I was very worried about क्योंकि मेरा बहुत अच्छे scores नहीं आ रहा था. But eventually उस exam के दिन I was good with DILR and I ended up scoring 91 percentile. So had I been in that preconceived notion कि मेरा VAR सबसे अच्छा है and मेरा DILR खराब है, तो शायद DILR में भी 99 ना आ पाते और परसेंटाइल कम रहता. So ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरा ये स्पेसिफिक सेक्शन ही अच्छा है बाकी खराब है. Go with an open mind और आपने प्रैक्टिस की यार, हो जाएगा, इतना टेंशन मत लो. Believe in yourself.
Super. I think that is better put than I could have ever thought about. So no preconceived notions. Ultimately, ये CAT है. जो भी आप सोच के जाओगे बदलने वाला है. So please have an open mind and go prepared like a full warrior. कि कहाँ से भी वार होगा, लेकिन हम लोग तोड़ेंगे and उसको करेंगे. Dhruv, thank you so much today for taking time out of your busy schedule. You guys, IIM उदयपुर का बंदा हमारे टाइम निकाल के आया है. He already has to run into assignments, submissions, meetings, etc. So thanks a lot. It means a lot. All the very best, Dhruv. Please do well because your LD is doing well, and we look forward to more interactions with you. Thank you so much. Please take care. And thank you all my dear aspirants. We shall see you once again. Thank you so much. Amit Sir signing off.
Thank you.